So FANTOM is up 2.17%, yes, over 2% as Bitcoin struggles to stay green on today's daily candle, but I've seen something a little bit worrying, a little bit bearish in the FANTOM charts, which I have to show you. I've also seen something worrying in the TVL metrics, which again, I'm going to show you, but we've seen some interesting updates on some of the marketing aspects. We'll cover those off as well. So if you appreciate that, make sure you're hitting up the like button, make sure you're subscribing. This video is brought to you by myself. Yes, we have now started members only live streams. So you can sign up for $30 a month and you can be a part of our member only live streams. There's at least 3 member live streams a week where you can ask me questions on your favorite coins. We can do tokenomics research together. We can talk about macroeconomics. We can look at your portfolio. We can discuss psychology of crypto. So if you're interested, check the link below to head into our Discord server, which is free. And then within the Discord server, you'll find out details of how to become a member. So go check that out. But without further ado, let's get straight into the charts. Because here, as you will see, guys, we're looking at Bitcoin first. And Bitcoin, this is the hourly candles we're looking at. Opened the day red. It started falling to the downside. And it kind of went sideways here around 42,000, 42.5. And now it started to work its way back up to 42,700. And it's just calling off here for a couple of hours. So we're kind of 0.2% in the green today. It may end up as a green candle. If we head over to the daily candles, you can see it may well end up as a green candle here. But remember, the key level for Bitcoin is it needs to work to the top of this wedge at 44.5. That's really important. So far, so good. The wedge is looking pretty good. I'm just getting worried that we're spending a lot of time here, which coordinates with this pivot point here at 42-ish and 42.5. So I'd rather see us push through 43 nice and quickly. If we stall there, I feel more comfortable us stalling here than stalling at a point where we got rejected to the downside here. Obviously, we know the macro elements were different here, sending us to the downside. This time we got a lot more clarity. The markets have a lot more directionality, but it'll be good if we could start moving towards the top of this wedge at 44.5. Now, that's from a technical perspective. From a fundamental perspective, we know exactly what's going on, right? We've had oil prices up today, leading most major indices to retreat slightly today. We had the Dow Jones down 1%, S&P down almost 0.75%, and the Nasdaq down about 0.5% as we switch into risk off today. Interestingly, we've also had concerns around Russia and Ukraine continue to weigh on investors' minds, and that doesn't seem to be easing up just yet. So naturally, that's going to lead to risk off, and naturally, that is why Bitcoin is struggling to make those big moves to the upside. But interestingly, that hasn't stopped altcoins. If you watched my video from earlier, I made a video on ApeCoin. That's up 8% since recording now. So that's up 8% here on ApeCoin. Crazy day here, green day here on ApeCoin. And it's posted 3 straight solid days here after its 2-day retracement after the launch. So interesting. Go watch my ApeCoin video if you haven't watched that yet. I'll link that up here. You've also got ADA up 11%. What a strong breakout of trend this is from ADA. Again, I made that video earlier on ADA. Go watch that. Will we get a retest of the trend line before heading straight back up and getting a solid breakout? All of these are going to rely on Bitcoin to give it some headwind to make massive moves. But short-term breakout, the altcoins are now doing these on its own, right? Today, we've got FANTOM up 2% despite Bitcoin flat, which is very interesting. If we head over into the FANTOM chart and we look at the daily, you can see we're starting to work our way in towards this EMA ribbon, but I'm seeing something worrying because if we head over into the hourly, what I can see is we're obviously in this channel. And in this channel, you can see we were managing to work our way through. But at this point here, we failed to go and post a higher high, right? And we ended up creating a higher low, which is fine, a slight higher high. Then we posted a lower low. And if we just get ourselves zoomed in, then you can see here, just here, we've struggled to go higher than our previous high. We needed to get above 132 here on FANTOM, but we're struggling to do that. We're getting a few red candles coming in, suggesting we may go down to test again. And then that would be 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests here on the bottom channel, which starts to get worrying because we're spending too much time towards the bottom of the channel instead of going and touching the top of the channel. This is a more healthy pattern, something like this, right? So that's getting me concerned here. Now, the other more macro trend which I'm worried about, which I want to share with you guys, is the fact that this could just be a bear flag, right? So this is a bear flag, it's a continuation pattern, a move to the downside, you consolidate slightly up towards your EMA ribbon, and you move again to the downside. Consolidate a little bit, EMA ribbon rejects us, and then we move to the downside. You have to be very, very careful trying to time this market particularly if you're a trader, you've got to be very careful here, because if you've got a short-term time horizon, you could easily get rejected by this EMA ribbon. I mean, you can see here, the consolidation here, after this initial downward leg, the consolidation took us all the way into the top of the EMA ribbon. You thought we were going to flip the EMA ribbon, and then boom, consolidated to the downside. Same here. This could go all the way up towards 165 and still throw us back down to the downside. So we've got to be very careful. We've got to manage our psychology. We can't rush in or FOMO in. We just got to have high conviction, buy on pullbacks, dollar cost average, and let it play the course, right? That's very simple. If you're trading this on a short-term time horizon, then hopefully you're a professional. Hopefully you know what you're doing. Hopefully you're setting your stop losses and you're not trading on leverage. Please, please, please don't be trading on leverage, and you'll be all right. So there we go. That's what we're seeing here in terms of some of the negative aspects. One more negative, and then I promise I'm going to speak a little bit more positively from some of the marketing messages. But here on the TVL, I'm a little bit bummed by the lack of movement here. So obviously we had the Andre Cronje dump. That took us all the way down here, and then we're just struggling to recover here. I was expecting a little bit more of a retracement up to, say, midway point, or at least, you know, kind of a third of the way back up towards where we started from. But we're just seeing us curling over here, which is a little bit of a worrying sign here over the last 7 days. I mean, if we head over into chains, you'll see that compared to some of the other protocols out there, FANTOM has just had a pretty weak 7 days. I mean, we're down here 1.14%, while Solana is up 5%. You've got Binance Chain up 6%. The market's been pretty healthy, right? But Phantom's just kind of been lagging here on some of the total value locked metrics. Now, hopefully, some of the things like the Phantom focusing on RV integration and RV version 3, hopefully that can help bring some more TVL in. It surely is a top protocol. I mean, like I shared with you before, if you click on Ethereum, and you head into Ethereum, Aave alone has more total value locked than the whole of the Phantom ecosystem, 8.7 billion, more than the whole of the Phantom ecosystem. So hopefully Aave version 3 integrated with Phantom can help drive some more total value locked metrics for Phantom. Right, now for the good stuff. Now, we know there's been a whole bunch of attention around crypto and NFTs, right? Crypto and NFTs with F1, sorry. But what is all this hype around sponsoring F1s? Why are companies, crypto companies specifically, so focused on F1? Well, the first thing is, as this article nicely explains, is the age group. 16 to 35 is a perfect age group for crypto. We know the disposable incomes of people watching Formula One tend to be higher. They're more likely to invest in crypto. And you can see a whole bunch of companies are now getting involved in F1 sponsorships. You got Velas, you got Phantom, you got Crypto.com, FTX, Floki, Binance, Bybit, Tezos. So these are huge companies with huge partnerships on the F1 stage, and these are no mean feats. This really gets your company on the map. It helps with brand loyalty, brand equity, brand recognition. This makes a difference, right? Because this makes a difference because people start to become more familiar with your brand. Crypto.com, for example, sponsor the UFC. FTX obviously sponsor the FTX Arena. You've got Tezos sponsoring the training kit for Manchester United Football Club here in the UK. Big deals. And there's a reason these companies are doing it, is to get the brand exposure, to build loyalty and trust, because crypto is all about building trust. And we can see Phantom's taken a big step in doing so. They've sponsored the Fittipaldi brothers. I'm not a big fan of Formula One myself, but apparently this is a big deal to be sponsoring Pietro and Enzo Fittipaldi here on. But also, the interesting thing for me is not just the sponsorship in terms of the normal marketing sponsorship, but they're also bringing an NFT angle with it, which is very interesting. Remember, one of my weaknesses, which I pointed out about Phantom, is they need to get more involved in non-DeFi stuff. Keep doing your DeFi bit because you're strong at it. It comes naturally to you. But let's see some more work in NFTs. Let's see some more work in gaming. Let's see some progress in the metaverse. And this is a good thing, right? So now they're going to go ahead. They're going to launch an NFT collection with this chap. And hopefully that does pretty well. It brings some notoriety. It brings some attention. And it just shows that they're working on real life use cases, which is great. Now, let's see what Michael Kong said. Phantom is incredibly excited to be sponsor of the Fittipaldi brothers. Both Pietro and Enzo have demonstrated a strong interest in emerging technologies. The brothers have a history of engaging their fans, already generating hundreds of thousands of followers on several platforms and millions of views on Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. We believe the Phantom community will show incredible support as they join the network, especially once they explore all the ways the Phantom network can bolster GameFi. We're excited to introduce new users of all backgrounds and experience levels to the high-speed Phantom network. Nice statement there, and I think this just goes to show that Phantom is trying to say we're more than DeFi, we're in GameFi, we're in the metaverse, we're doing a whole bunch of other things in terms of the NFT space, and that is all good as far as we're concerned. Let's take a look at the crypto fear and greed index. We're now sitting at 31, which makes sense. Yesterday we were sitting at 26, and you can obviously see Bitcoin maintains its stability around its level, this is pretty much where we'll be sitting. If Bitcoin can move beyond 44.5 and start breaking out from its wedge, you'll see this climbing into the 40s and into the neutral area before getting ready for the FOMO, right? But that's when the FOMO is going to really start kicking in. I mean, if we put it into perspective and look at the year chart, you can see we've been pretty suppressed for a while now. You'd have to date all the way back to the November 2021 run when Bitcoin was heading towards its 60. Well, it were already headed towards 69 by then, I believe. That's when we were at 74, which is extreme greed. It's just been suppressed ever since. So you can just imagine, I mean, obviously it's difficult for us to invest in these moments, but this is when the work needs to get done. That FOMO is there. It will come. FOMO is a law of science, right? People will FOMO. And your Uber driver and your colleagues at work, they will be talking about crypto again when it's back up at 69. But for now, while the lights are off, we need to get to work. We need to accumulate in our high interest plays. And that is the work that needs to be done. Now, interestingly, the Bitcoin dominance has started to rotate again back down. It just seems to be going in swings and roundabouts. You have a moment where Bitcoin is moving strongly and then a moment when altcoins are moving strongly. Interesting. I'm just wondering whether we can start seeing this start to head towards 39.65, this important support level we've had drawn for a while here in the Bitcoin dominance. But definitely we can see the pattern, right? Bitcoin 0.3%, but many altcoins, ADA, literally as we're speaking, 11.3%, phenomenal, 8.3%. You've got Koti up 5%. You've got VeChain up 4.5%. Solana up 5%. You've got Ethereum up 1% and 1.3%. So yeah, the market's moving at a multiple of the rate that Bitcoin's moving, which is just starting to give you an idea that people are starting to rebalance their portfolios. People are getting ready for this next run to the upside. Otherwise, you wouldn't be seeing these kind of patterns happening right now. If we were really in a risk-off environment, nobody would be playing with altcoins. All your money would be out of altcoins, and Bitcoin would either be red or slightly green like now if they're trying to figure out the market, right? But the fact that you're seeing altcoins move like this, particularly something like ADA, you're seeing that funds and institutional investors and sophisticated retail investors are starting to position their portfolio for the next one. And this is something I've been saying as non-financial advice to all of you guys, is that's what we need to be doing. We need to be positioning our portfolio ready for the next run. If just hypothetically think, if Bitcoin starts running towards 50,000 suddenly over the next few hours, what do you wish you had in your portfolio, and what would you regret about your current portfolio, and then work towards it. But again, now is still a time to only be in your high conviction plays. We don't have time for froth right now. We can't have meme coins in our portfolio. We can't have anything which we don't have solid 100% conviction in right now. Because if we fall from the wedge on Bitcoin and start rotating back to the downside, then you're going to regret having some of those excitement coins. Wait till a bull market for those, and you can add on your meme coins when everything is going up, right? When you're in a proper alt season, everything is up, then go ahead and grab whatever you want. But right now, when we're still in a tricky situation, the market's trying to decide which direction to go in, should only be in your play. So there you have it, guys. There is the update on FANTOM. A few worrying things in terms of the technicals. I mean, that bear flag forming, if we can continue that trend and work its way out, that's great. Ultimately, it's going to depend on Bitcoin and Bitcoin breaking its trend. That will help propel all altcoins out of their trends and bear flag patterns toward the upside, which would be great. But yeah, that's something we just have to monitor. Can Bitcoin get moved? We're going to need a risk on environment. Now's the right time to do it, because we've not got another CPI reading for a little while. We've not got the Fed meeting and the next interest rate hike until May. So now is a good couple of weeks for us to get running, get moving on Bitcoin. But it's just the Ukraine issue which could hold us back. It could be commodity prices, oil, the Ukraine issue could just keep us in a risk-off environment and stall our progress to the upside. As always, guys, thanks for watching this video. Smash up the like button and subscribe. Don't forget, if you want to become a course member, join our course member lives, where we have, a really small group of people helping each other, answering questions. You guys can ask me any questions. We can look at your portfolio. We can ask the questions you have. We can look at the macroeconomics. Then make sure you head into the Discord, go into the members live stream channel, and find out how to sign up there. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.